Hello everyone, my name is Judy, and today we're going to be talking about my Kobo. I love my Kobo. I bought this not that long ago, actually. It was on my birthday. It was actually a birthday gift to me, which was great. I love that. So I got my Kobo with the intention of switching away from Amazon because in March of this year, they decided to make it so you can't download any of your books off of Amazon anymore. And looking more into like how Amazon deals with books and stuff like that, there was a whole Lewis Rossman video about how they like retroactively decide to change books and stuff like that. Beyond the author, like if they fucking died, it doesn't really matter. They can do whatever they want with your books, and how they can take away your books whenever they want, like with the 1984 case where they just took away everyone's copies of 1984, stuff like that. I didn't want anything to do with Amazon or Kindle. I actually had a Kindle 11th gen Paperwhite, which I'll grab right now. So this is my Paperwhite. It's got nothing on the back anymore because I took off all the stickers. I used to have a shit ton of stickers on this thing. I sticker bombed the fuck out of the back of it. But now it's just this, and I don't use it anymore, so I wiped it. But yeah, this is just the Paperwhite I used to use, and then I switched over to the Kobo recently. I can't lie, I do kind of miss this form factor and how it worked. It was quite nice. And I still really love the build quality of these things. They're great, sturdy. I don't remember how long I've had this for. It must be like a year now. But I bought a lot of books through Kindle and used a lot of books through Kindle. So yeah, it was a really strange change to switch over, just to move all my books over. And I won't talk about that in this video, but just because I swapped over all my books after the change with how they let you download books, I just didn't, I had to go through hoops and ladders to do it. But I did it, so we're past that now. So yeah, this thing is no longer useful to me because Kobo. I love Kobo. Don't know much about the company itself, to be honest. I did a little bit of research on that, but mainly I looked into this device here and compared it to the Clara and other such devices, mainly the Clara, because I loved the color, which we'll talk about the color. I'm rambling. So when researching, I looked at a couple different things. I looked at like the price of books on their website, the availability of books, because Amazon does have quite a large selection of books, but they also have a really good selection of books, and they actually have a lot more books that Amazon doesn't have, which I thought were really cool. Specifically books that I want. Anyway, sorry. When I got the device, I noticed right away the build quality is very nice. So on the Kindle itself, it has like a weird like plasticky kind of texture, which is why I got this case specifically, so I just wouldn't touch it because I don't like that. And I left a bunch of fingerprints and stuff like that. I don't like that. This, just smooth plastic, which actually when I pulled it out of the box originally, I was like, is this metal? Because it kind of felt like metal almost, but no, this is just really high quality plastic. So that's great. And another thing I like about this device is it's indented. So if you see how the screen is like not flush with the rest of the screen, it's actually indented a little bit, and I like that. So I know a lot of people will say otherwise, but on the Kindle, I get a weird like looking through a plastic screen kind of effect going on, where like I can see kind of that the Kindle screen is underneath the plastic cover, and so it kind of weirds me out a little bit and made me think like a little bit less of the e-ink technology. It was a bit weird. But when it comes to the Kobo, that's not the case. It's just flush directly with the screen, so it looks amazing, and it just looks just like you're reading on paper. Something else I like about this device, I don't know if it'll do it on screensaver, but if you see here, no, it doesn't do it on the screensaver, so we'll turn on the device. So one thing to note about the device, if you look at it, is that I have mine oriented like this, but it's also really easy to do this. Bam. Put in any orientation you want. Pretty awesome. I don't know, just a small detail, and I love it because most people use it the other way, but I use it like this. So one of the things I don't like about this device is the power button. It's kind of mushy. I don't know how to describe it, but like pressing it doesn't feel very good. It doesn't feel good at all. And sometimes you can't even tell that you've pressed the power button because it's so mushy. So yeah, I don't use the power button very often, and I'll show you why I don't use it very often. One of the things that made me very excited about this device, because Kindle doesn't have it across all of the devices except one that I think they discontinued. Don't know why they did that. They just did that. Was the buttons. These buttons right here. So it makes it really easy to page turn. Here, we'll test it on this. So I just wrote some codes on this. This was from a stream I did. So if I press the up button, next page. Down button, previous page. Very useful. I don't have to touch the screen at all. I don't like touching screens on anything at all. It always ends up leaving some sort of fingerprint or some sort of thing that I can see in glare of light, like this. Like I'm using the glare right now purposefully, but it just fucks with me. I don't like it. Nuh-uh. No, don't like it. And the thing about the buttons is that if we go into the settings, go into more, and going to settings, and then go into, I think, reading settings. Yes, with the button controls, you can either set it to default or inverted. So default works more like this way, where like this would be the next button, this would be the previous button. But I've swapped my Kobo around, so now I invert it. So now this is the next button, this is the previous button. And it's great, I love it. I love that you have that option. And there are a lot of settings you can go through to change through in this Kobo. Like, there's 3 pages just in the reading settings alone that you can go through. And one of the things that you may want to turn on when you're reading like comic books or like black and white comic books or even like manga is turning on the reduce rainbow effect. I don't turn it on because usually Kobo's pretty good at like detecting black and white. But for some manga that like have like the first couple pages as in color, the rest of it that it's in black and white is going to have a bit of a rainbow effect on it. So if you don't like that, you can turn on reduce rainbow effect and it'll remove that, which is great. I love that. There's so many settings here. You can look at your wish list for books you want to get, Dropbox for if you just want to like download books directly from your Dropbox. Same thing with Google Drive. So both of these, you just link your account to it. You put whatever EPUBs or KeyPubs you want into it. So EPUB is like your generic book, your book like format, and then KeyPub with a K in front of the EPUB. That's for Kobo books specifically. So yeah, you put them directly in here, and they'll pop up right in your Kobo. My articles I don't really know anything about. Activity is great because that just gives you analytics. So right now I'm reading this this Yuri manga, and I'm 13% into it. There is no chapters in this, so it's not telling me that there is a chapter. And then these, I would get more out of it if I actually use the analytics more, but I don't. And then this is just telling me all of the stuff. So I finished 28 books using this Kobo. I have 2.8 total hours of reading in it. And I am 78% done with all the books in my library. I have some books I haven't read yet. Like I have this $1 book I got because it was $1. And it looked kind of fun. It was a horror book. I also bought Coraline, and I haven't read that book just yet. There's a couple books I haven't read. So anyway, that's reading stats. You can just get that straight from activity in the more option. There's beta features, which we'll go over this in a sec. We'll go over the browsing the internet thing in a second. But there's large print mode, which I haven't used, but I think that just makes everything look bigger. And then my words, which is just like making a personal dictionary. If you've ever used like Google Docs, how you can just like save words that aren't real words in your dictionary, it's like that. Or no, I'm reading that wrong. I'm stupid. No, it's just words I've looked up in the dictionary. Okay, you can just save words that are in the dictionary. Sure, I guess. And then of course settings with all the different settings. There's so many settings to go through. I'll go through the more important settings later. But for right now, I'm just looking at other stuff at the moment. I'll talk about other stuff first. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that's in my hand, the Stylus. I've been using this because I don't like touching the screen. So first of all, it just magnetizes to the side, and it stays on pretty good. I'm tapping this pretty pretty hard right now. There you go. And even when I hit it pretty hard, it still magnetized to the back of the device. So this is a really good magnet. Just wanted to talk about that real quick since no one really brings that up. So not only can you just like go through menus like this, like you can just go through menus and stuff like that, discover, notebooks, more. Yeah, you can go through all that stuff. You can also annotate. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I go to my SCP book, which I'll show you how I put this on my device. What I can do is a couple things. One, I can just write directly on the book. So I've written something and then I go, oh no, I don't want to write that. Bam. I've just erased it. And then there's a button right here. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Yeah, you can see that. There's a button right here. And with this button, you can press it down and then select text, whatever you want, here. Bam. And it'll highlight it. And then, of course, you just select the text again. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just erase it. I've never really had to remove it just yet. So yeah, that's how you can annotate and write on whatever you want, which is really great. I love that about this. So I've been reading through all these SCP articles on my Kobo and just like giving it a rating right here. And like I'll go back to the first page after I've read the whole article. I'll put a rating on it, and then sometimes if the article is really interesting, I'll highlight text that I want to highlight. I don't usually do that though. Usually I just read a book, right? So I'll show you a more like interesting way of using annotation, which is in the notes. So here's my notebooks. It's at the bottom in the middle here. And so how you use it, you just make a new book and you can select from 3 options: basic notebook, advanced notebook, and folder. I use the basic notebook because I've never really used the other ones. Just because, you know, whatever. And so just name it whatever you want. So I'm just going to name it test and then save. And now you're in. And now you can write whatever the fuck you want on the page. Erase it. Then click the drop down here. You've got your pen colors, so you can change between ballpoint pen, fountain pen, calligraphy pen, brush, highlighter. Your pen sizes, the pen colors. I like green a lot. I don't know why, but the green color on the Kobo is so satisfying that it's the only color I really use anyway. What is this? Oh. Is it like a cutting tool? I've never used this before. If you can't tell, I just use the note-taking thing to just take regular notes of stupid shit. This is definitely an eraser tool, which I don't need because, you know, I have an actual eraser. Undo, go forward, search for something, and then here, change page background, clear page, delete page, refresh page, and export. Change page background is cool. Oh. Oh, I like this. So you can just doodle whenever you want in here. Oh, storyboarding too. Oh, look at that. So I can doodle whatever I want in here, and then I can just write in here. So if we up that, then we can look here. So I can doodle whatever I want. That's supposed to be me wearing sunglasses. As you can tell, I'm the artist of the family. And I just write whatever I want here. As you can see, I'm also not very good at writing with the stylus yet. It's a little bit tough for me right now. I'm wondering if I'm going to get better at it or if I'm just never going to get good at it and it's always going to be kind of awkward for me to write. But either way, I'm loving this. This is really nice. I may take more notes like this actually with the background. I did not know you could change the background on this, change the page background. I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. And then the next page will not have the same formatting. So I wonder if I can make every page have the same formatting. No, I don't think. Unless there's a settings. Nope. Okay. So yeah, that's how this works, how taking notes works. It's pretty awesome. I love it. I also just discovered something today, a new thing. I am always discovering something new about this device every time I use it. It's so fun. I love it. Like this is so fun. This is so cute. I might journal with this like this. I've been like writing in a diary on my computer and just like a text document, but I may start like writing in this and just like writing about my day in this, because this seems, I don't know, this feels more bespoke and more nice to write in this. But yeah. So, I mean, I've already talked about it, but color. This thing is in full color. Yeah, so this is in full color. I can doodle in whatever colors I want. And that also goes for book covers and stuff like that. So I don't particularly use, like, color. So I mainly read, honestly, if you look at my books, I've mainly been reading Yuri. Like, a lot of it. Just so much of it. I don't know why. I just suddenly got into it as of recent. Which doesn't really have color in it. If you look at any of these, we'll look at this one real quick. So the front cover shows up on it, and then like some of the first pages are in full color, just to like introduce you to the manga, and then it's back into black and white. And actually, if you look really closely, you can kind of see like the rainbow effect like on her hair there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. So yeah, that's how like I read these mainly. So I mean, I don't use the color all that much, but I love looking at the color. What is it? I love looking at the color, the book covers. They're so nice. I love them. It's a really small detail. It's really dumb, but at the end of the day, I love it and it's fun. And I don't use the color mainly for that, but it's a nice detail to have. And also the covers are in really high res. Like if you look at the Stolen Tongues book there, that one's in such like high detail. It is crazy. I can see all the details in it. I can see like all like the little bits of like blood that are coming out of the writing here. I can see the details of like the light hitting the monster here. It's beautiful. I love it. It's just great. This device is just amazing. So one of the things I want to take a look at in here was the beta features, and then going into browsing the web. And here I am in the web. Now this is a beta feature because it doesn't really work the best. Like something you can't do is you can't look at YouTube, per se. Like if I go to YouTube, it's not supported on this device, which is fine. I mean, it's not like I could fucking watch YouTube on this anyway. Oops. But one of the things you can do is like look at stuff, like just articles and stuff. So I don't really look at articles on the internet, so I didn't know what to look up. So I just kind of looked up an SCP article because, you know, I'm a mega nerd. And here it is. And you just read the whole thing in full color right here, right on here. And I can scroll through and it'll refresh and I can keep reading. The whole article right here. And you know, I can just press X and then just go back to my regular Kobo. So browsing the web right now is very limited. You're not going to be able to probably look at like GIFs and stuff like that. You may be able to log into Discord. That would be really funny if you could. I haven't tried that, but if you want to, go ahead. I think it'd just be really funny. And I imagine every time you close the browser, it completely wipes all browser data. So like if you really wanted to log into like Discord, I highly doubt that you'd actually be able to like regularly use it without it being a pain in the butt. So yeah, that's the web browser. I just want to point that out. So I don't use this thing like just as the like raw dog in the device itself. What I like to do is keep it in this case. This is my case. I got it off Amazon. Ironic, I know. And I got it for really cheap. And then I bought a bunch of stickers, put it all over it, and I got this stylus holder that was too long. I don't know if you can see. I did a really rough cut there. because it was too long, and it was meant for an Apple pen, so it was supposed to be much longer. I just cut it down, and so I just stick my pen in here, because you can't, like, this covers up like the side of it, so you can't put the pen there and close it. But I like to have my Kobo in here. Bam. Oh, yep. I was going to talk about that, but hey, it happened. So that is the wake feature on it, which is, I mean, the Kindle can do it too, but it's still really cool. I don't even know how it does it. Like, I don't know where the sensors are on this thing, because it just looks like black plastic all around, like thick black plastic. So I don't really know where the sensors are in this thing, but it can detect when it's closed and opened, which is so cool, like so fucking cool. I love that about this, and I never have to use the stupid power button, because I can just close and open the device and have it turn on. It's amazing. So yeah, I love that. Oh yeah, another thing I bought was USB-C covers. You don't really need to do that. USB-C is a pretty safe like plug, so you don't really need to do that. I just do it because it's cool, and you can hang like little keychains off of it too if you really want to, and it's really easy to just take in and out. Bang, and then put it right back in. Bam. So yeah, I like having that in there. So now we're gonna get into the more like nerdy, stupid shit. So if you're kind of bored by that, the video's already over for you. Have a good day. Bye bye. But no, we're gonna talk about Kobo Super Points. That's what it's called. I have a little script thing here that I'm reading off of. So with Super Points, which you just pay like $10 a year, by the way, and you can get discounted books. So usually I get a book discounted by like $1 or $2, like a whole $1 or $2, which I've already gotten my fill out of it, considering I've bought so many manga that I've already gotten all of the value from it back. Like each manga, I bought like what, 20 something manga, and each one of them had like $2 off of it. So I've already like got my fair share of getting my money's worth out of this. But also, you can collect points, and they're called Super Points. And what it does is it lets you, every time you buy a book, you get like 400 points. And when you collect enough points, you can get a free book with that. So like a $10 book is like 6,400 Kobo points, and right now I have like 4,000 Kobo points. So I'll get a free book soon. I'm not too worried about like the points thing, because honestly I really couldn't care about that, but it is really cool that they just are like, they just have a program for a free book, so it's just free money. But I'm more interested in the fact that it like lets you get discounted books, which is just fucking amazing. I love that. And another thing about money is that I looked it up, and the author cut for like how much money an author gets on when selling the book through Kobo, it is 70% goes to the author, and then 30% goes to Kobo, which I think is a really good cut. I wouldn't know. I'm not an author. But me personally, if I'm selling like a shit ton of books, I love the fact that majority of the money goes to the author. Like when I buy a book, I feel good because I know that I'm supporting the author directly. And I like that. And then Kobo, of course, has to take their cut so they can like maintain the website and shit like that. And pay their employees. But I think it's great. I love it. So I'm definitely staying on Kobo forever. And of course, there's another aspect I'll talk about in a second, but never gonna buy a book off Kindle again. There's some indie stuff that is only on Kobo, or not Kobo, on Kindle, because I mean Kindle is just such a like widely accessible place that it just like some authors just only put their stuff on Kindle. And I actually came across this problem when I was trying to read this comic book. I think it was called like it's called 920 London, which is like this like it's like a cute little comic book, and it's a furry comic book, and it's made by this author called Remy, and I wanted to buy it, but it's only on Kindle. And if I had a Kindle Colorsoft, it'd be much easier to just like buy the book there and then like rip it onto my computer. But because I have a Paperwhite, it will rip my books in black and white, I think. Although I think the manga I just showed was one I ripped off my Kindle, and that was in black and white, and yet it had color, so I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, I don't want to give any money to that, so I just tried DMing or emailing the author, which is what I'm probably going to do every time I see a book that I want to try getting and it's only on Kindle. Or I'll try finding some way to pirate it. I don't care. Which, speaking of that, whereas Kindle has removed the ability to download books directly off the website and then put it on whatever device you want because, you know, ownership is dead, Kobo, directly on their website, on a forum, written by Kobo themselves, not like someone else, like on a forum post. I'm talking about like on their own website. They tell you how to download books and put them on whatever you want. You just like go to your books tab in your on the website. You click the three little dots. You click download the book. You get you get a thing called url.acsm, and then you open that in Adobe Digital Editions, and then you can convert that. You can remove the DRM off of it, and then you just have the book. That's it. You just have the book. You just have an EPUB file. Straight up. There's no like trying to beat around the bush, trying to like figure out how do I like convert a file to a file to a file, going through Calibre, putting in the fucking the stupid goddamn fucking model, make and model of your Kindle just so you can get the book that you purchased to be put on your computer. Nope. With them, you buy a book, you own it, and you can just own the book. It's just on your computer. It's yours. Same thing with, you can just take the book directly off of like the Kobo itself using Calibre. Super easy. I think you can even just do it in File Explorer. If you just plug it into the computer, you can just rip it straight off the Kobo. I'm not too sure. I haven't done that because I haven't needed to do that, but you know, it's not a bad idea if you want to do that too, if you don't want to mess around with Calibre at all. Which, I guess I should talk about Calibre now, which is a tool in which you can either upload or take off books from your e-readers. It's specifically made for e-readers and for like reading ebooks. It's a great program. I recommend you look into it. Have been using it for like a year now, and I've gotten a shit ton of plugins that help me with a bunch of stuff. I've gotten so used to the program. It's an amazingly built program. You just plug in your device, like this Kobo, directly into your computer, and then it'll show up in the device manager, but it'll also show up in Calibre, and then you can put whatever books you want on it directly, just from Calibre, and you just put them in. You just you convert the file type. So if you have like an AZW3 file, then you just convert it to KeyPub, and make sure that you use the page layout correctly that goes with the book, and you're done. That's it. It is so simple to use. I love it. And I used that for the SCP book that I have in here, which you can download off of the SCP website. There's just like an old ebook that's so compiled of like the first 1,000 or so SCPs, and along with some tales and stuff like that, which is really cool. I like it, and I've been annotating it and reading through all the SCPs, although I know that the book is outdated by now, so I'm not sure what to do. I really wish someone would make like an updated version. Or a version that updates like automatically from the website, which would be cool, but also would probably take a lot of time and a lot of understanding of how to code, which I don't know how to do that. So when you plug in your device into your computer, you have access to every file. It's not like Kindle where like you don't have like any files that you can see. You like nothing is hidden. It's all right there. Everything you want is right there. And one of the things you can do is if you go into, here, I'll show you here. One of the things you can do is just make screensavers. Like a list of screensavers that you can have, like custom screensavers. So what you do is you go into your .kobo file, like the folder, and then you make a new folder just called screensaver. That's it. No like dot or anything like that, just screensaver. You make a folder and then put whatever PNGs you want into it. I resized the PNGs myself so that they would fit perfectly within the screen, but I don't think you need to do that. I'm just a little bit funny with it and just decided to go a little overboard so that my stuff looked, the best it can on this. And I've got a couple I have on this. I think I can cycle through them. It cycles randomly through them. So you'll get a bunch of different ones. Like this is a cute one I found as well. And you can just like have a bunch of different ones on here. And it's that simple. It is that simple to do screensavers. I tried setting up a screensaver with my Kindle. You can't do that. Like you can't have a custom one. The only way you can do that is to fake it by making a fake book and having the cover of that book be whatever screensaver you want. And then just open that book and then you have that as the screensaver. And that's it, really. But yeah. And then, what does the library mean? Oh, one of the things I kind of skipped over was library support. So if you use Overdrive, I think also Libby works on it. I don't really know. But if you use Overdrive to connect to a library, you can get any book you want for free on here as long as you like return it, which I don't use my library mainly because it wouldn't have any of the books I want. But also because it's just, I don't know, kind of a pain in the ass to set that all up, getting like a library card and stuff. And I like to own my stuff. Like I like to buy something and own it. And you have to return books when you borrow from a library, which is kind of weird and kind of backwards when it comes to ebooks because you have to return a digital product that isn't a physical thing. But I get it. It's for like copyright and also for like making sure the authors get like properly paid and also to make sure that the corporations get properly paid because we have to make sure that the corporations get paid. But whatever. Anyway, so yeah, you can directly inside of the Kobo itself just like look at any book and then see if you can just borrow it. It's like built right into the Kobo. I can't demonstrate that, but there are other videos on YouTube that you can look at that will demonstrate Overdrive better than I can. So there's that. And the last thing I want to talk about is Bluetooth. And I tried connecting a Bluetooth keyboard to this, and it does work. You can use also those like devices that you can like click to like it's called like a page turner. I don't really need one of those, but I tried connecting my Bluetooth keyboard to it to see if it worked. And it does for the arrow keys and for the escape key, which just puts it into screensaver mode. However, like typing in it, you can't type unless it's like a specific text box. So I tried in notes to use it, and for the title of the note, I could type in it perfectly fine. But once I got into the notebook itself, I couldn't type at all. I couldn't type, and I don't know why. So I'll have to like look into that a bit more because I do like the idea of like just directly typing into the Kobo. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about today. Just wanted to nerd out about my Kobo because I love the Kobo. I love this device so much. I've had it for not even a month yet. Not even a month. I got it on the 23rd, and I have used it so much. It is crazy. I've used this thing so much, and I love it so much. It's so great. Oh yeah, also my voice sounds different because I've been doing voice training as of recently. Also, you'll notice that in my other videos as well. Or not videos, in my other live streams that I've been doing recently too. My older videos don't have that, so this is the first video I'm actually doing that has voice training in it, which is fun. Yeah. I also have a membership program now. I got partnered with YouTube. I've been doing a whole lot of streaming, so if you see my videos, and you notice that I've been posting videos like every 2 or 3 months, it's because I've been doing like exclusively streaming. I've just been doing streaming mainly, and I love it. And now I'm a YouTube partner, so you can now sign up and become a member for 99 cents USD, which is, or not USD, 99 cents Canadian, which is 69 cents USD. At least that's how I set up the conversion, although YouTube might take more, so you might actually pay like a whole dollar USD. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but yeah, so you can just sign up. It's monthly. It'll be like $12 a month, or $12 a year, I guess. And you get access to custom emojis. You'll see this YouTube video earlier than other people and any other YouTube videos I post. And I'm thinking of doing members-only streams. I don't have enough members just yet to do that. But when I get like maybe like 10 members, I'll start doing those streams. And it'll just be like talking, just like, it won't be anything like crazy. It'll just be like talking videos where or streams where we just like shoot the shit. I don't know. That sounds fun to me. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna end the video now. I'm terrible with ending videos. I'm always fucking awful with ending videos and live streams. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. So bye bye.